So we looked at 500,000 leaders from associations, from corporations, from nonprofits, and we asked 2 million people so far, it's continually growing every month, to rate those leaders on a series of competencies. And what we found is there was 18 core competencies that the top leaders worldwide across cultures and nationalities shared. And the one trait, the one top trending trait that these leaders had worldwide, of the top 20% of leaders, was something called courageous authenticity. Now, this is what it looks like right at the top. It's right at the top of this circle. The top are the creative competencies. The bottom are the areas that people may need some work on. And what we found is this, and you can ask yourself right now if you're demonstrating some creative you're demonstrating this particular leadership quality. And the questions that we would ask are, do you take tough stands on unpopular issues? Are you the one to bring up undiscussables one-on-one in team meetings when it needs to be said? Do you admit mistakes? And not only admit mistakes in the present, but you admit mistakes with someone you had a falling out with 3 years ago who you still have some type of connection with or acquaintance with at work? Do you openly deal with difficult relationship problems in real time? Do you give whole and direct feedback in real time and not let it fester and people not know where they stand? And do you share personal feelings and vulnerabilities in situations that come up with your team? And if you're answering sometimes to many times, then that would be a creative competency that you share with leaders who are scoring quite highly in the study that we did. The good news is, if you're not doing this, most leaders don't do this. And so you can change this immediately, and it will shift your leadership culture, because we found that leadership culture only shifts with honest and real conversations. We can still be Canadian and be diplomatic and sensitive and compassionate, which we are, but it's just that one little shift is going to impact your leadership culture. What's our next trait? What do you notice about the top of each of these particular signatures? Yes, they're really pointy. Who has a really high, pointy top? It looks like an inverted V or a V shape. Please show me your hands. Yes, sir, thank you. If you have that trait in your writing, you have something in common with Elon Musk, global entrepreneur and inventor, and one of the heroes of the 20th century, Swedish diplomat in World War II, Raoul Wallenberg. And that is the sign of the proactive problem solver. You see, people who have this trait combine curiosity, critical thinking, healthy skepticism, and applied abstract imagination. You're the kind of person who, in a team meeting, instantly has an answer, and you're thinking about it in 7 different directions. You're very quick to build data like an investigative reporter. Now, is this always a strength? It is most of the time. It's a brilliant trait, but it could become a liability if you cut people off, you interrupt them, because this is the person at the meeting. Yeah, I know that. Just get to the point. I know. I've already thought of that. Okay, stop. I know I'm not interrupting you. I'm not interrupting you, but I'm not interrupting you. And so the way around that is simply listen. Listening is the most underrated tool of top leaders. Let every person in the meeting speak first. Bite your lip until it bleeds if you need to. Acknowledge each voice, because there's other types of thinking styles. There's cumulative thinkers whose mind, this is mine a little bit, mine works like a building block where you say, I'll get back to you, just give me some time to think about it. I want to talk to someone else first. And those individuals will feel shut down if you're constantly jumping in. So simply by listening and let everybody talk first is going to shift your leadership culture in your next meeting.